The next meeting not scheduled, though, until February.
Yeah, Danica, one Premier says that date is simply too far away. Queensland's leader, Annastacia Palaszczuk, saying if we do see the number of cases in New South Wales continue to climb, that she will be pushing for another National Cabinet meeting to be held well ahead of that date. We know that National Cabinet was meeting almost nightly at the height of the pandemic, mapping the path of restrictions that were put in place and trying to come up with a unified approach across the country. But as we've seen in the last few days, state and territory leaders going it alone in terms of how tough they make these border restrictions with New South Wales. Over in the West, Mark McGowan announcing all of New South Wales will no longer be allowed to come, whereas the Northern Territory and South Australia have adopted more of a hotspot approach. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has been accused of being missing in action. We haven't seen him publicly since Friday. He instead released this short video message.
The initial data now is encouraging in terms of, so far, not seeing any seeding of the virus in other parts of the city. But that doesn't mean we can be complacent about it. That's why the Premier has put in place the controls in terms of wearing a mask and restricting movement, particularly over the next few days, and especially there in the northern beaches and the northern parts of Sydney. I've been in regular contact with the Premiers, particularly in New South Wales, and getting updated on the actions that they're taking, the precautionary actions they're taking. We'll provide assistance where we consider it as necessary.
Now, the Prime Minister had always planned to spend Christmas with family here in Canberra, and that's turned out to be a pretty wise decision. If he had gone back to Sydney, he would be forced into 14 days of self-isolation, Danica, if he came back here to the nation's capital.